Okay, sir.
Attention.
I didn't.
Good evening, students. Let us wait for 2-3 minutes better. Only 32, 33 students, 37 students have been come. So let us wait for 2-3 minutes more.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, beta. Are you seeing that videos, beta? Sure. Let us start, beta. Let us try to talk with the next topic better. Interference of light waves. Interference of light waves. Okay. What do you mean by interference, beta? You might have been studied in the electrostatics chapter. When a two or more electric fields are being adding or pointing at the same time, we add them vectorially, like E bar is equal to E1 plus E2. Our forces F is equal to F1 plus F2. The same thing is happening here right now. The first point in this one, you remember that when two or more waves overlap, when two or more waves, when two or more waves overlap in a region, then there is redistribution of energy. Then there is redistribution of energy. Okay. Please unmute yourself, beta. Please unmute yourself.
What's a world record? It means you're best in the world at something.
Okay. Chalo. When two or more waves overlap in a region, then there is a redistribution of energy. Then there is a redistribution of energy, redistribution of your energy. At some point, at some points, the intensity is maximum. The intensity is maximum, and at some points, the intensity is minimum. At some points, the intensity is minimum. This alternate occurrence, of maxima and minima intensity is called interference. Okay, is called interference. Sure. So what is the first point in the interference of a wave beta? When two or more light waves overlap in a region, then there is a redistribution of energy. Like say for example, in a room, if you have 4 tube lights in your room, okay, if one is been on, then we'll get a light. If second is been on, the intensity of that room increases. Third and fourth are also on. What is happening to the brightness of the room? It increases. That means the intensity of that one is directly proportional to what? Superposition of the waves. When you switch off one tube light, one of the wave interfering is decreasing. That is the reason intensity is also decreases. So as there is a point of redistribution of energy, because energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, light energy can convert from one point to another point like maxima or minima. So at some point the intensity is maxima and at some point the intensity is minima. This alternate occurrence of maxima and minimum intensity is called as of your interference, part of relation. Clear for everyone? Chalo. Second point, chudandi. If the intensity is maximum at a point, if intensity is maximum at a point, then the interference is called, is called constructive interference. Okay, this is called as of your constructive interference. That means if intensity is maximum, that is known as of your constructive interference. Opposite of this one, if I am taking, in the same way, opposite of this one, if intensity is minimum at a point, if intensity is minimum at a point, then the interference is called destructive interference. At that point. Okay, so we are getting right now, if intensity is minimum, it is called as of your destructive interference. It is called as of what? Destructive interference part of relation. If intensity is maximum, it is constructive. If intensity is minimum, that is known as of your destructive interference part of relation. Is that point clear for everyone? Now this point is very important, beta. Point number 4. That is about your coherent sources. Coherent sources. What do you mean by coherent sources, beta? Like say for example, if I take two tube lights of same volt, same power, everything, will they be called as of your coherent? No. Reason because of that one is, well, during manufacturing, whatever the gas is being filled in the tube light, maybe 1 or 2 moles of the gas molecules might be different. If I take the two twins, even though they appears to be similar from outer side, but they are not called as of a coherent because their behavior, the way of the thinking will be quite different with each other, with respect to each other, isn't it? So coherent means same. Coherent means right now for me what? Same part of relation. So coherent is nothing but of your same. I mean to say the sources are said to be coherent if the phase difference between them is constant with the time. That means there is no change in the phase with respect to your time. What do you mean by phase? What do you mean by phase? Delta phi is equal to k into delta x. That means they are traveling same distances in the same interval of a time at any given situation. And such type of bodies are called as of your coherent sources. I'll write the definition. The sources, the source on your turn. The source are said to be coherent if the phase difference between them is constant with time. This is important. So what is constant right now? Phase difference is constant with respect to time. They are called as of your coherent sources. They are called as of what? Coherent sources part of relation. So in this one, we'll write one more point here right now, keeping a star mark. Two independent light sources. Two independent light sources can never be coherent. Just now I told you, even though the two tube lights were taking up same power, same capacity, everything, like two bulbs of 100 watt and 100 watt, if we keep side by side, it appears to be same. But actually, mathematically, if we take the calculation, even though they appear to be same from the outer side, but they are different. Reason, because the filament manufacturing might be slightly different temperatures in a bulb when they are being manufactured. So we don't take the two independent light sources. So that is the reason we are calling here right now. Two independent light sources can never be coherent. Because emission by source is random. Okay, now if I ask you, next point, very important point, point number 5. Conditions for your sustained interference. That means what is the now condition? How do you get the what do you call that one? Interference part. That means from one single light, if we can divide that one into two parts, then that will be having a constant phase difference. Like say for example, so before going for that point, I'll let you explain you once again this one. See here, source, yes. So from this one, the light has been coming like this. If I take a cardboard in between them like this, okay, and if I take a pinhole in this one, like say for example, I have make a hole here right now. I'm making a hole in this one right now, and the ray of light from this one is been coming. First touches this one like this, and another ray of light coming from this one touches from this one like this. The another ray of light which is coming in this one will touch us like this. All of them are in the form of spherical wavelets. This is S1 and this is S2. Distance between them is nothing but, say for example, of your D. The distance between these two sources is nothing but of your D. Now the light which is been coming out from this one after striking like this, This are called as of your coherent sources because they have been produced from the same parent source. So S1 and S2 are here right now coherent sources. S1 and S2 are coherent sources because they are being produced by the same parent source and the distance traveled by the source to the S1 and S2 is same at a time t is equals to 0. So now S1 and S2 will be called as of your coherent sources. Is that condition clear for everyone? Is that condition clear for everyone?
Yes.
Clear for everyone, beta?
Yes, sir.
Sure. Point number 5. Conditions for your sustained interference. Condition for sustained interference. This is also important point, beta. The two sources must be coherent. First point in this one. The two sources must be coherent. You know how do you get a coherent, isn't it? Next one. The frequency of the source must be same. The frequency of the source. The frequency of the source must be same. The frequency of the source must be same. And third point is amplitude of the waves. Amplitude of the waves from two sources. From two sources should be nearly same. Should be nearly same. So these are the conditions for your interference. If someone asks you what are the basic conditions for the interference to happen, the two sources must be coherent. The frequency of the source must be same. Amplitude of the wave from the two sources should be almost all nearly the same particulation. Now, how is that possible, beta? Again, I'm taking you back to the first year topic of your SHM, beta. Like say, for example, if I take the first equation, y1 is equals to your a1 into your sine of your omega t minus of k into your x. And second wave is having a phase difference of y is equals to e2 into, this one is nothing but sine into omega t minus kx, plus there is a phase difference of your phi. When you superimpose both of them right now using the condition right now, when I superimpose both of them right now, y is equals to y1 plus of your y2. Y is equals to y1 plus of your y2 part. I told you yesterday we get a resultant equation. And I also told you how to write the resultant equation. Like say for example, the resultant equation how we'll get beta, y net is equals to your a resultant into your, this one is sine of your omega t plus of your alpha. This is the net equation what we'll be trying to get. Isn't it? Now, what do you draw the vector diagram right now in this one? AR value will be equal to how much, beta? A resultant is nothing but AR square is equals to A1 square plus of your A2 square plus 2A1 A2 into your cos of your phi. The same way, amplitude if I'm writing directly, so A resultant is equals to under root of your, this one is nothing but A1 square plus of your A2 square plus 2 times of your A1 A2 into your cos of your phi. And see here, if I'm drawing the vector diagram for this one, so this is the first vector right now. This one is say for example of your A1, and this is another vector right now. This one is nothing but of your A2. An angle between them is right now, it is nothing but of your angle. You extend this vector in the front direction. So this will be the angle between them, that is nothing but of your phi. Now the resultant of this one is nothing but closing side of this vector taken in this order. So this is nothing but of your resultant amplitude, that is nothing but of your AR. And it is making an angle here right now, say for example alpha. Exactly like of your vectors condition. So the same way if I need to calculate the alpha, tan alpha will be equal to how much for me? A2 into your sine phi divided by your, this one is A1 plus A2 into your cos of your phi. So this is the way how do we calculate the resultant and as well as of your direction part of relation. So A resultant is equals to this much and tan alpha is equals to your the direction if I'm getting. So this will be your direction part. And we know that intensity is directly proportional to the square of the amplitude, as intensity is directly proportional to the square of the amplitude part of relation. That means if I am writing this condition, intensity I is equals to K into your A square. Okay, now for the AR square, if I multiply by the K on both the sides, so I'll be writing this one as of your K into your AR square is equals to K into your A1 square plus K into your A2 square plus this one is nothing but 2K into your A1 A2 into your cos of your phi. Okay, now see here. K into A square is resultant amplitude. So this will become for me how much right now? I. Okay, so this one is nothing but how much for me? Your I resultant is equals to this one is your I1 plus this one is of your I2 plus this one is nothing but equal to how much for me? 2. That is nothing but some constant I can take. So it is a 2 under root of your this one will become for me your I1 I2 into your cos of your phi. Okay, so this will be the intensity formula. So resultant intensity when 2 or 3 waves have been superimposing is given by the formula IR is equals to I1 plus I2 plus 2 under root of your I1 I2 into your cos phi. This term whatever we are taking right now, this term is called as of your interference term. Interference term. That means depending upon the value of the phi, we may get the maxima or we may get the minima part of relation. See how is that happening right now. If I'm talking about for constructive interference, if I'm talking about your constructive interference, see. I will become for me maxima, that is when cos phi is equals to maxima, that is nothing but 1, a maximum value. Now phi value is equals to 1 and a phi value should be equal to how much for me? Either 0 or either 2 pi or either 4 pi or either 6 pi, so on like that. So for what value of the phi it is becoming, I can write phi is equals to 2n into your pi, where n value starts from what? 0, 1, 2, 3, go on. So this will be the condition for your phase difference to be maxima. Phi must be equal to 2n into your pi, isn't it? Now see, because we already know the relation right now, delta phi is equals to how much for me? As delta phi is equals to 2 pi by lambda into delta x. This is a derivation in basic. So from this one I can write now from the given condition delta phi by your 2 pi is equals to delta x by your lambda, isn't it? So that means delta phi value already I got right now how much for me? 2n into pi. So 2n into your pi is equals to 2 pi by your lambda into your delta x. Okay, so anything is getting cancelled right now. See in this one 2 pi and 2 pi will get cancelled. Raza is raising the hand. Any doubt, beta? Any doubt? Phi is equals to 2n into your pi. Delta phi is equals to your how much for me? Okay, fine. So the given condition see right now here for constructive interference, I is equals to maxima. When this I will become maxima, see this equation. I is equals to I1 plus I2 plus 2 under root of I1 I2 into cos phi. This IR will become maxima when cos phi value is maxima. That value is maxima when phi value is equal to how much for me? 0, 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi. That means I can write that one as phi is equals to 2n into pi, where n value is equals to 0, 1, 2, 3, so on. As we know that delta phi is equals to 2 pi by lambda into delta x, I am writing this delta phi value here right now. 2n into pi is equals to 2 pi by lambda into your delta x part of relation. So from this one, If I cancel this 2 right now, 2 pi and 2 pi, I'll be getting an equation right now. Delta x is equals to n into your lambda. So this is your basic standard equation for your constructive interference. Delta x is equals to your n into lambda, isn't it? So therefore, delta x, if n value is 0, 0, then n is equals to 1 lambda, then next one is nothing but 2 lambda, so on for the given condition. Okay, now write me the maxima value for that one. So A maxima will become for me how much? Can anyone tell me? A maxima is equals to, see the formula for the A max beta. A max is how much for me? A value. A is equal to under root of A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 into cos phi. If I take here phi 0, that will be under root of A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2. That can be taken as of your A1 plus A2 whole square. That means A max will become for me A1 plus of your A2. This is your maximum value. The same way, maximum intensity, I max will be equal to root of your I1 plus root of your I2 whole square. How? I'll write here, see, I resultant, we know I resultant is I1 plus of your I2 plus 2 under root of your I1 I2 into cos phi. Now if I'm taking the value of that 5 is equals to 1, so this will become for me how much for me? Root of your I1 plus root of your I2 whole square only, na? Like A plus B whole square. That is the reason I'm writing that with that condition right now there. I hope you got that conditions. I'm rubbing this one that is already there in the upper part. So I'm just rubbing this condition once again. So maximum intensity I got as of your A1 plus A2, and minimum intensity, sorry, maximum amplitude will be equal to your how much for your A1 plus of your A2 part of relation. So these are the 2-3 relations. You need to remember it very importantly. I'll come back once again. You see right now what I did is we started with the interference of a light. I told you that when two or more waves they are superimposing or overlapping in a region, then there will be the redistribution of your energy. At some point the intensity is maximum, and at some point the intensity is minimum. This alternate occurrence of maximum and minimum intensity is called as of what? Interference. Is called as what? Interference. Now the intensity is maximum at a point when interference is called as what? Constructive. If the intensity is minimum at a point, then interference is called as destructive. Now, what do you mean by coherent source? The sources are said to be coherent if the phase difference between them is constant with respect to time. So two independent light source can never be coherent source. So that is the reason we always take them from your parent source. That is nothing but of your S. I have taken S. All the spherical wavefronts are going in front of that one. I have taken a cardboard in front of that one and made a pinholes. That is S1 and S2. That S1 and S2 are called as of your coherent sources are slit. The distance between S1 and S2 is nothing but of your D. And the wavefronts which are coming from that slit again in the spherical will move in the front direction and they will undergo the constructive interference. Okay, now condition for the interference, that means sustained interference kavalante. What is the condition? The two sources must be coherent, the frequency of the source must be same, amplitude of the waves from the two sources should be nearly the same. So if I'm taking an equation like y1 is equals to a1 into sine omega t minus kx, and y2 is equals to a2 into sine omega t minus kx plus 5, and if I'm using the principle of superposition, y is equals to y1 plus y2. So we'll be getting a resultant wave y net is equals to ar sine omega t plus of your alpha. Now, how do we calculate the AR? Yesterday also I told you AR square is equals to, just like if a vectors like A1, A2 make an angle phi, the closing side taken in opposite direction will give me the resultant. So AR is equals to under root of A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 into your cos phi. Now, how do you get the direction? The same thing as you might have been done in your first year vectors. Tan alpha is equals to A2 into sine phi divided by A1 plus A2 into your cos phi part. And we know that intensity is directly proportional to the square of amplitude. If you don't know this one, we'll be doing this one in a chapter called as of your sound waves. So sound and waves part of relation. So don't take up that tension. But right now remember that intensity is directly proportional to square of the amplitude. And how we got that one derivation we are having in a chapter called as of your sound waves. If I remove that proportionality constant, we get a certain constant known as of your K. So now what I did is for AR, I'm multiplying by the K on either side. So KAR square is equals to KA1 square plus KA2 square plus 2 K1A1 A2 cos phi. So K into AR square is IR, that is I1 plus I2 plus 2 under root of I1 I2 into cos phi. This 2 under root of I1 I2 is cos phi is called as a what? Interference term. So in this one, let us try to talk about right now constructive interference. So for constructive interference, intensity is maximum. When it is maxima, when cos phi value is maxima, when cos phi value is maxima, when phi value is either 0 or 2 pi or 4 pi or 6 pi. That means it is an integral multiple of your n, that phi is equals to 2n into your pi. So now n value will be starting from where? 0, 1, 2, 3 part of a relation. As we know already, yesterday I have already derived this relation. Delta phi is equals to 2 pi by lambda into delta x. So delta phi value you take from the above and try to substitute here. So 2n into pi is equals to 2 into pi by lambda into delta x. So simplifying it, you are getting path difference for the constructive interference. Whenever we talk about bright point, this is also called as of your what? Bright point. This is also called as of what? Bright point. So constructive interference is also called as of a bright point. For bright point, delta x is equals to n into lambda. When delta x is equals to what? 0 at what time? Because n value is 0. If I take n is equals to 0, bright point will be at what position beta? Remember, at 0 we are getting bright point. Next bright point is at lambda. Next bright point is at 2 lambda. Go on like that one. Now if I'm talking about A maxima from this one, if I'm writing A maxima, cos phi value take it as 1. So this will become for me under root of A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 into part. So if I write that one, that will become for me A1 plus A2 whole square. So root n square will go off. That is the reason I'm getting here as A1 plus A2. The same way I max is equals to root of your I1 plus I2, root of your I2 into your whole square. That will give you the maximum intensity. Now in the same way, if I'm talking about the next part right now, the next one is nothing but of your right now destructive interference. Now I'm talking about your right now destructive interference. Destructive interference. Destructive interference, or also called as of your in the bracket dark point, or also called as of what right now for me? A dark point. That means intensity is right now your minimum. Intensity is right now minimum. I minimum is equals to, that is almost like 0. That is possible when beta? When cos of your phi is equals to -1. That is your minimum value of your cos. That means what should be the value of phi? Phi must be equal to either 180, or it is nothing but of your 3 pi, or either it is nothing but 5 pi, or either it is nothing but of your 7 pi, so on up to the given condition. That means if I am writing this condition, so phi will be equal to your 2n minus 1 into your pi, where n is equals to how much beta? Where n is equals to, we are starting from where? 0 now 1 now. See, if I take 0, I'll get a 0, but I don't get pi. That means we are starting n is equals to from where? 1, 2, 3, go on for the given condition. So therefore, I can write now the path difference right now for the given condition as delta phi is equals to 2 pi by lambda into your delta x, isn't it? Now from this one, delta phi value already is known for me right now. You substitute that value here. So 2n minus 1 into your pi is equals to 2 pi by lambda into your delta x. If I cancel something, this pi will get cancelled. So delta x will be equal to how much for me? Delta x will be, Sri Charan has raised the hand. Yes, beta. Charan, ఏమైంది? No? Okay, chalo. Delta x. What is the value of your delta x beta right now from this one? Delta x is equal to, this will become for me 2n minus 1. 2n minus 1 into lambda by 2. So this is your path difference for the destructive interference or your dark point or your dark point part of relation. That means delta x will be equal to how much beta? Delta x is equals to, if I take n is equals to 1. So if I take n is equals to 1, delta x, that means first bright point will be equal to how much for me? That is nothing but of your lambda by 2. The same way, if I take n is equals to 2, if I'm taking n is equals to 2, next path difference is equal to how much beta? 4 minus 1, that is nothing but of your 3 pi by 2. If I take n is equals to 3, the next path difference is equals to how much for me? 5 lambda by 2. So go on, we'll be getting to the given condition. Now if I'm taking the minimum intensity, A minimum will be equal to your A1 minus of your A2. A1 minus of your A2. Same the vector formula, whatever we have taken the above. In the same way, minimum intensity, if I'm writing, I minimum will be equal to root of your I1 minus root of your I2 whole square. If intensities are same, then there may be a change right now. So therefore I can write here ultimately keeping a note, I can write here the given condition that A max by your A minima, A max by A minima is equals to A1 plus A2 divided by A1 minus of your A2. In the same way, if I'm talking about your I max divided by I minima, it's not the I max of your Hyderabad. So it is I max root of your I1 plus root of your I2 whole square divided by your root of your I1 minus root of your I2 whole square. Isn't it? So that will be the values for the given condition. So it is I max by your I minima part of a relation. Is that condition clear for me, beta? Is that condition clear? Okay, let me still go in more detailed part of relation. Like say, if I1 is equals to I2 is equals to say for example some I naught, then intensity formula is how much for me? I is equals to I1 plus I2 plus this one is 2 under root of your this one is your I1 I2 into your cos of your phi. If I simplify this one, see what I am getting right now. If all intensities, all of them I am taking to the same. So I will be equal to I1 is your I naught, I2 is also your I naught plus this will become for me 2 times of your I naught into your cos of your phi. I hope you got this one. So from this one I can write this one is nothing but 2 I naught plus this one is also 2 I naught into your cos of your phi. So if I take here 2 into I naught constant, this will be 1 plus of your cos phi. So this will be your intensity, isn't it? 1 plus cos theta is how much better? 1 plus cos theta is equal to how much for me? Because can anyone tell me? Guys, we know that cos 2 theta is equals to how much for me? 2 cos square theta minus 1. Isn't it? So I can write from this one relation right now 1 plus cos theta will be equal to this I will be equal to your 2 times of your I naught into this will become for me how much for me 1 plus cos theta value can be written as of your how much better 2 cos square phi by your 2 minus 1. That means that will get cancelled. So that will come out for me minus this is I is equals to this will become for me 4 times of your I naught into cos square phi by 2. So this is your intensity. So the intensity of this one, how much I'm getting right now? I is equals to your 4 I naught into cos square phi by 2. Cos square phi by 2. This is your intensity. This is cos square. Is it clear for everyone? Isn't it? Now for maximum intensity, you know the relation. For maximum intensity, phi value must be equal to how much for me? Either 0, either 2 pi or either 4 pi, so on. That means I max will become how much? Can anyone tell me now? I max will be equal to 4 times of your I naught into your cos square. This one is nothing but how much for me? 0. So that comes out to be how much better? I max value is equals to your 4 times of your I naught. 4 times of your I naught. So I max is equals to your 4 times of your I naught. 4 times of your I naught. Clear for everyone? In the same way. For minimum intensity, if I'm going for minimum intensity, for minimum intensity, phi value should be equal to how much better? Either pi, I already told you this one, either 3 pi or either 5 pi, so on like that for the given conditions. That means if I'm writing the relation right now for this one, I minima will become how much? I minima is equals to 4 into I naught into this one is cos square. Pi value is nothing but how much for me? Pi by 2. Pi value is nothing but pi by 2 right now here. So this will become for me how much? 0. This will become for me 0. So I minimum will be equal to 0 if both of them are same. So maximum value is 4 times of I naught and minimum value of that one is almost like of your 0. Is that condition clear for everyone, beta? Is it clear for everyone? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Sure. Let us try to do one problem better. See this problem. Simple problems only, but basic conditions. Let me try to go with this one. First one is intensity of the two waves from current sources. Intensities. Yeah. intensities of two waves, intensities of two waves from coherent sources are I naught and 4 I naught. Stop. Find resultant intensity. Find resultant intensity at a point where phase difference is number 1 0 and number 2 pi. చెప్పండి అందరూ ఆన్సర్ చెప్పేయాలి. వన్ స్టెప్ ఆన్సర్. ఎంపీసీ పిల్లలు అయితే చక్కా చెప్పేయచ్చు. వన్ వర్డ్ ఆన్సర్. ఫస్ట్ వన్ కి ఫార్ములా తీసుకోండి. I is equals to your I1 plus of your I2 plus 2 under root of your I1 I2 into your cos of your 5. Now take 5 value 0 first one. So this will become for me how much? I is equals to your I naught plus this one is your 4 times of I naught plus 2. This will become for me how much right now? Under root of your I naught into your 4 times of your I naught into cos value is nothing but 0. Antena? So then so this is how much for me? I naught plus 4 I naught plus 2 into this is nothing but 2 times of your I naught. That is nothing but given condition. And then so this will become for me how much right now? 4 I naught plus this one. So that means this will become for me how much? 4 plus 1 5 5 plus 4. That is nothing but 9 times of I naught. So this will be your answer. Okay, the same with second condition. I hope you might have been got the answer till now. Now కోసం wait చేయకుండా మీరు చేసేయండి. So for the second one you just keep 5 value is equal to 180 degrees. So I value will become for me I1 plus of your I2 plus 2 under root of your I1 I2 into your cos now 180 degrees. Cos 180 degrees is how much for me? Minus. Substitute the values here. It is I naught plus 4 times of I naught. This one is minus 2 under root of your. This one is I naught into 4 of your I naught. That means this will become for me 5 times of your I naught minus 2 into this one is 2 times of your I naught. So this will become for me 5 I naught minus this is 4 times of your I naught. So the answer is how much for me? I naught. Clear for everyone? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sure. Next question, Nana. Determine resultant intensity. Determine resultant intensity due to interference of two waves. Interference of your two waves at a point given below. At a point given below. Y1 is equals to 3 into sine 100 pi t. Y2 is equals to 4 sine. This one is 100 pi t plus pi by 3. Okay, this one is of your plus pi by 3. Now, given that intensity due to the first wave is I naught. Given that intensity due to first wave is I naught. Come on, try it under sir. Take a paper and pen, try to do it out. Let me see how many of you will give me the answer perfectly correct. చిన్న క్వశ్చన్ కానీ చాలా మంది చేయలేరు. That's a very important condition right now. What is A1 and what is A2 in this one, beta? A1 is 3, A2 is 4. Intensity due to the first wave is I naught. Then intensity due to second wave. Then intensity due to second wave. Intensity due to second wave is, say for example, I dash. I don't know. First one is intensity given for me, I naught. And I know the relation between intensity, that is I dash divided by your I naught is equals to, this will become for me A2 divided by your A1 whole square. So that is equals to 4 by 3 ka whole square. And this will become for me 4 square is 16 by your 9. That means new intensity will become for me how much right now here? I dash is equals to 16 times of your I naught divided by 3. So this is your new intensity. But what is asking in the problem for me?
Divided by 9, sir.
How much better? Yeah, sorry, 9. Sorry. This one is 9. Chalo. Now, what is asking the problem? You see, beta. What is asking the problem? Determine the what is the question here? Determine resultant intensity due to the interference of two waves at a point. Is asking me the resultant intensity. So how do you write the resultant intensity? IR is equals to I1 plus of your I2 plus 2 times of root of your I1 I2 into your cos of your phi. So I1 is no doubt I naught. I2 value I got it 16 times of I naught divided by 9 plus 2 into under root of this one is your I naught into 16 times of I naught divided by 9 into cos. Angle is how much better? Can anyone tell me what is an angle? Pi by 3. Pi by 3. So this is your angle. That means this value, if I simplify it, so this value comes out for me I naught plus 16 times of I naught divided by 9 plus this one is coming out for me how much better? So this will be your I naught square and I naught 4. That will become for me 9. So 9 root by the gochese, that will become for me 3 and that will become for me how much? 4. 4 2 is 8. So this will become for me 8 by 3 into cos pi by 3 is how much better? 1 by 2. That means this will become for how much better? Can anyone tell me? Please try to see it. How much I am getting? 16 by 9 plus 1. So it is 8 I naught by 6. LCM will become for me 3. Interesting, this will become somewhere around 37 times of I naught divided by 9. So this is your IR. Vachinda andarki? Vachinda?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Clear? Okay, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay, chalo, very good. Now I'm giving some questions as an homework. You please try to do that one. After I upload the video, you can see it from your YouTube and try to take these questions and try to do them better. If the ratio of the amplitudes, I need the answer in the comment box related to this one. If the ratio of the amplitude of wave is 3 by 2, then find the ratio of number 1 intensities and number 2 maximum and minimum intensities. Okay, that's the first question. The another question is right now for me, ratio of maximum and minimum intensity. Minimum intensity in interference pattern. In interference pattern is 25 divided by 16. So stop. Find first question. Ratio of amplitudes. First one is ratio of amplitudes. And number 2, ratio of intensities. Ratio of your intensities. I hope you can give me the answers for this question, beta. చేయగలుగుతారా లేదా? చేస్తారా? No response. What happened? ఉన్నారా, అందరూ వెళ్ళిపోయారా?
ఉన్నాం సార్.
సోమేష్ వెళ్ళిపోయాడు బాయ్ అన్నాడంట వాడు. రేపు సోమేష్ కి లైవ్ లా గుంజలు తెప్పిద్దాం వీడియో ఆన్ చేపించి కృష్ణ సార్ చెప్పి. చలో ఈ క్వశ్చన్ చేయండి అందరూ సార్ రఫ్గా తొందరగా. టూ కోహరెంట్, దిస్ ఈజ్ ఎన్టీఏ ఎగ్జామ్ పేపర్ నుంచి తీసుకున్న క్వశ్చన్ బేటా. టూ కోహరెంట్ light beams, two coherent light beams of intensities I and 4I superpose in a region, to stop. Find maximum and minimum possible intensities due to superposition in this region. For about two questions, if you try to give me the answers in the chat box beta, and if it is not possible by you, I'll try to do it in the next section of your class. Okay, now due to the interference, what is the Imax value beta? Imax is equals, it is a direct question, it is I1 plus root of your I2 whole square. So that will become for me how much? Root of your I plus root of your 4I a whole square. 9 times of your I. In the same way, I minima, that is nothing but root of your I1 I2. What is the minimum intensity? I'll be writing higher value minus of your lower value even for the minimum. So this will become for me how much? Root of your I2 minus root of your I1 whole square. Root undi kabatti. So this will become for me root of your 4I minus root of your I whole square. So then those student I. So that will be your answer. Clear? Clear for everyone? Okay, tomorrow and day after tomorrow I'm not taking classes beta. We'll come back again to the class on Monday. Due to the Bakrid, I'm going out of station, so tomorrow and after tomorrow there will be no class from my side, and we'll meet back again on your Monday evening, or most probably I'll plan to take the class in the morning 9 o'clock if it is okay with some of the students also. Otherwise we'll try to continue as usually from 5:30 to 6:30. Okay, so take care beta, bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye beta.